Hello, party people. This is not going to be long, but I did come up with something that I thought was pretty interesting and I wanted to share. That's not really going to help you make any money or have any real impact on your night or morning for that matter. I went back and looked at the original Reuters article from early February when Merck KGaA was in advanced talks to acquire them. I'll remind you there were three sources, and Merck KGaA confirmed that day that they were indeed in advanced talks to acquire them. Advanced usually means days or a few weeks. In that article, it said weeks. It never says months. Months is not advanced, okay? Weeks, by definition, means less than a month, or else it's months. That's how words work. Usually it's days. The word advanced means something in M&A journalism, okay? Merck KGaA was in advanced talks and was going to acquire SWTX within weeks. Of course, as we know, they said there were conditions that had not been fulfilled yet. People are now speculating that this European approval of their first drug is one of those conditions. I will note that there was no way this drug was going to be approved before the end of April based on when the 120-day letter came out in EMA. This is like weird fucking behind the scenes shit with European approvals, but it has to do with the way they process approvals there. And once they start or stop a clock, when it restarts, there has to be a certain number of days before you can be on the agenda for approval. It was never going to be approved before the end of April. At the earliest, it might take longer. It could be the end of May or June or whatever, based on how the process works. If it was the end of April, and it was the first week or the 10th day of February when this article came out, tell me how Merck KGaA could have had a condition for EU approval for their first drug 10, 12 weeks away when it was in advanced talks and they were weeks away. Again, this is language that's very normal in M&A, weeks. That doesn't mean 25 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. I'm going to get myself some scotch. Excuse me real quickly. Thank you. Cheers. It means soon. And in this case, we know why it was weeks, not days. They had a PDUFA, February 28th. That was 3 weeks away from when that article came out. What we don't know is why it was leaked and the purpose of the leak. And I've gone through 25 videos where I've explained why I think it was leaked. This was not shopped, and the purpose of the leak was to make sure it could be shopped. Now listen, am I sitting here telling you that I expect the deal tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday? No, I don't. I'm very disillusioned, and I'm very sad by how long this has taken and how much money I've lost on this. So I'm not at all sitting here with any kind of confidence to tell you that SpringWorks is going to get acquired. But I've never really seen a situation like this where a company has been blacked out, a company has decided to go dark. That's the same thing as blacked out. And we are sitting here with no leak, no formal press release for a conference call, no news. And we know with almost certainty that the original buyer no longer is going to buy them. That part is the reason why this is so interesting, because there's no reason why Merck would take 6 weeks to finish this from 6 weeks ago, okay? But there's an additional reason why we know that they're not buying them. It's because they told us they weren't buying them, basically, on the conference call 3 weeks ago this Thursday. Today's Tuesday. It's 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks from 2 days from now. So I was willing to bet a friend of mine a lot of money, and I was going to give him even money odds that if there was a buyout, not even if Merck will buy them, but just if there's a buyout, Merck will not be the buyer. And I was willing to give him even money on it, and he wouldn't take the bet. But that was weeks ago. That was right when the conference call happened, and I still stand by it. At this point, I mean, at this point, if Merck's the buyer, the way the game played out was there was another bidder. It was a huge price. The company decided that they were going to wait to see if they could come to terms with the due diligence and whatever was needed to get to that price. They walked and they went back to the Merck bid, which was whatever it was, 55 or 60, and Merck signs. So Merck can still be the buyer. If Merck is the buyer, it's going to be a very shitty price, no more than 60. And it's possible. We know Merck was in advanced talks to buy the company. I mean, let's look at the facts here. Facts, not rumors. Merck themselves confirmed themselves in advanced talks to buy SpringWorks. SpringWorks canceled their conference call and canceled, the conferences aren't as important. But for them not to do a conference call on drug approval and then conference call for their Q4 earnings, they're a commercial company. They have to talk about the sales they just had, the launch they're about to do. This is not something you just decide to gloss over because you might get sold. They're hot and heavy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have no idea if it's going to happen by April OPEX. I still think strongly it will. I thought it would happen by March and by February OPEX, by the way. So I couldn't have been more wrong. I thought by February OPEX because I thought it'd be Merck. I thought by March OPEX because it wasn't Merck, but it would be an interloper. Why the fuck I did that, I don't know. And now I think it'll be by April OPEX because it'll be interloper, and that's 10 weeks. And 10 weeks is enough time to do the limited due diligence you have to do on the two drugs and agree to the price, which you outbid. I mean, that was the whole idea. You outbid the previous buyer. That was in exclusive talks before anyone knew they were for sale. So look, honestly, my gut tells me I have a 10 or 20% chance of this working. My brain tells me this is a 90% chance of being sold. I don't know when, I don't know what price. The biotech market's so bad that these buyers can wait. They can buy something else for, a little bit above net cash. I mean, there's so many goddamn companies that are trading at shit. So why buy this thing? I didn't even know what this company was before the Reuters article. There's a lot of reasons for me to think this is not the best idea that I have. And it really isn't. The other ideas have much better risk-adjusted rewards. I just use leverage and I own all of them. So, I'm not choosing between one or the other. I mean, Sage today was at 850 for no good reason, right? Biotech was down, XBI was down 2.5% today, and Sage is at 850. Who the fuck knows? This is like the shittiest company in the world. So are we going to wake up to a deal there the next week or two? I mean, they don't really have a path outside of selling themselves. There's no, we're going to go it alone and market 50% of a drug that's not really worth much. And we have no pipeline and yada, yada, yada. So look, between Sage, WOW, SGRY, which I've talked about many times, and SWTX, all four of them should resolve themselves hopefully in the next 30 days. They all should be sold. I don't know what we'll make off of them. Obviously, the one with the biggest upside is SWTX. I don't know. It's weird. I've got to a place where I wake up in the morning, and again, I'm like kind of sleepless at nights, which again, I don't need your feedback about whether that's the right way to invest or live. But I don't expect it. I literally don't expect anything from tomorrow. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, we're not going to wake up to a deal. That mentality probably is good, right? I just assume it's never going to happen. But like I said just a week ago, the longer we go without an article or a break, the more likely that there really is hot and heavy shit going on behind the scenes, and we're going to find a conclusion to it. I wish the company was like a really high quality, important, strategic asset, and it's not. I mean, it's not. It's two assets that have a lot of value. They're niche. One's worth, $600 million to $1 billion. The current drug they're marketing that they're first in class at, and then the one they just are about to launch on is worth, $1 to $2 billion. But they're not blockbuster crazy drugs, and this is not something that's a game changer for any kind of big pharmaceutical company. But everything points to a deal. But there's no deal till a deal's signed. So we'll see. Anyway, party people. Hope I speak to you tomorrow with a deal. Out.